નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી. ડિયર સ્ટુડન્ટ, continues of chapter number 1, standard 9, subject social science. Our next topic is Battle of Plassey. Siraj Uddola was ruling over the Bengal. Now who was ruling over the Bengal? Siraj Uddola was ruling over the Bengal. Due to his impulsive nature, he had some opponents in his states. Now what happened there? Due to their nature, some opponents in these states are there. During this period, the British East India Company built a fortress around the trade center in Calcutta. Now what happened there? During this period, the British East India Company built a fortress. It means East India Company built the fort around their trade center in Calcutta on the pretext for the reason of the security, without taking the permission of the Nawab. Now what happened there? British East India Company built a fort near the trading center for security reason, but they not take the permission from the Nawab. But the Nawab of Siraj Uddola destroyed the fortress. Now what happened there? That's why Nawab Siraj Uddola destroyed the fortress of East India Company. When this news reached the Madras, it means Chennai, a small army of the company led by Robert Clive. Now, who led the army in Chennai, Madras? The British East India Company leader Robert Clive led their army into the Madras, Chennai, reached the Bengal for helping the East India Company to help the Calcutta to save their trade center. In spite of the army, the East India Company being strong, they realized that it was not easy to defeat the Nawab army. And British East India Company know very well that they cannot defeat the Nawab army. So Robert Clive resorted to treachery, and that's why Robert Clive think new idea that how we have to defeat the Siraj Uddola. A conspiracy was planned in order to defeat the Nawab, and that's why they have to plan one idea to defeat the Nawab, in which the Nawab commander-in-chief Mir Jafar and Seth Amir Chand were coaxed to join him. Now what happened there? Robert Clive planned that Nawab commander-in-chief Mir Jafar and Seth Amir Chand have given some coax to join him. It means what happened there? Here Robert Clive give some coax to the both Mir Jafar and Seth Amir Chand on the pretext that Nawab is unnecessarily harassing the people. And now what happened there? As per the plan, the British East India Company and other people say that Nawab is unnecessarily harassing the people. A war was declared at the ground near the village named Plassey. The Battle of Plassey was fought in 23rd June 1757. Where this place is located? Their place is located. The battlefield of Plassey is situated 38 km from Murshidabad, from the West Bengal. According to the plan, Mir Jafar lost the battle. Now what happened there? According to the plan, this plan was prepared by the Robert Clive, that Mir Jafar lost the battle and Siraj Uddola was defeated in the Battle of Plassey. Due to the Robert Clive treachery, the Battle of the Plassey ended in just half a day. Now what happened there? Due to the Robert Clive treachery, the Battle of the Plassey ended just in the half a day. The company as a result got a freehold over the 24 pragnas, and Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. Now who became the Nawab of Bengal? Mir Jafar was made the Nawab of Bengal. Thus the foundation of company rule in India was laid in the Battle of the Plassey in 1757. Now next they have to given about the Battle of Buxar. The Britisher made Mir Jafar as the Nawab of the Bengal. Now who become the Nawab of the Bengal? Mir Jafar become the Nawab of the Bengal. Under the different pretext, tried to extract the plenty of the wealth from him. Now what happened there? Britisher was collecting the much taxes and much wealth from the Bengal. Due to their greed to gain the more power, the East India Company managed to dethroned the Mir Jafar and made the Mir Qasim as the Nawab of Bengal. Now what happened there? Here, now East India Company changed the Mir Jafar in the place of, they put the Mir Qasim as the Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim proved to be the more ambitious than Mir Jafar and thus become the threat for the company. Hence, Mir Qasim was removed and Mir Jafar was again made the Nawab. And that's why what happened then? After some time, Mir Qasim was removed and put the Mir Jafar as again as a Nawab of Bengal. Mir Qasim took refuge with the Nawab of the Awadh. During this time, the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam had come to the Awadh, and so all three of them decided to join the hands. Now what they have to given that? They have to given that here they three have joined the hands with each other. Who three are there? One, Mir Qasim, Nawab of Bengal. Second, Nawab of Awadh, Suraj Uddola, and third one, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II. These three them decided to join the hand and fight the company untidily, and they have to declare the war against the British East India Company. At the Buxar, the East India Company fought against the United Army on 22nd October 1764. Now, between which the war was there between East India Company and Joint Army have the war in which date 22nd October 1764, in which the United Army lost the war. Now who lost the year war? The United Army lost the war and East India Company win the war. Thus the company got the Diwani rights. Who got the Diwani right? Now East India Company got the Diwani rights. It means right to collect the revenue to the Bengal, Bihar and Odisha. Now, our next topic is regarding with the expansion of the company rule. The English government passed a Regulation Act in 1773. In which year the government passed the Regulation Act? In 1773, government passed the Regulation Act, according to which the Governor of Bengal was made the Governor General. What according to this law? According to this law, Governor of Bengal made a Governor General, and all the trade political activity of the company were brought under the direct control. Now what happened then? According to the English government passed the Regulation Act, now the Governor of Bengal become the Governor General of all the trade and political activities of the company, and they have to directly control. The Mumbai, Madras and the Governor and his council were brought under him. Thus, Warren Hastings became the first Governor General of India. Now, who became the first Governor General of India? Warren Hastings became the first Governor General of India. During this tenure, it means during that time, the first Maratha War and the second Mysore War with Hyder Ali of Mysore was waged up. Now, what happened? During this time, the first Maratha War and second Mysore War with Hyder Ali of Mysore was waged, and due to this problem for the East India Company increase because it has to face both the powers simultaneously, and that's why here due to this two war East India Company have faced so many problems. That's why they have to increase the power into the India. Now Cornwallis took over the Governor General after the Warren Hastings. Who was the Governor General after Warren Hastings? Cornwallis was the Governor General after the Warren Hastings. During the tenure of the Cornwallis, the third Mysore War took place with the Tipu Sultana. What happened there? Your third Mysore War took place with Tipu Sultan, and famously it is known as a tiger of the Mysore. Who is known as a tiger of the Mysore? Tipu Sultan. It is known as a tiger of the Mysore. The company has to join hands with Maratha and the Nizam to defeat the Tipu Sultan. At that time, what the strategy of the East India Company? The strategy of East India Company that they have to join the hand with the Maratha and the Nizam to defeat the Tipu Sultan, and Tipu could not win again the combined force, and that's why in this war what happened that in third Mysore war Tipu Sultan not win against the combined force and had to accept the treaty. After the Cornwallis, Sir John Shore became the Governor General. It means after the Cornwallis, Sir John Shore became the Governor General. Due to some rigid policy adopted by him, the East India Company fame declined and Maratha became the stronger. Now what happened then? Due to the rigid policy it means this policy is not good for the people, and that's why what happened that here the East India Company fame the decline and the Maratha become the stronger. So the Governor General Wellesley, who came after the John Shore, Governor General Wellesley come after the John Shore, got the responsibility to make the company supreme in India. For this, the Wellesley introduced the subsidiary alliance system. Who introduced the subsidiary alliance system? Wellesley. Wellesley introduced the subsidiary alliance system. The condition of system and the states adopted under this area are as follow. Thank you for joining us.